Hello everybody, my name is Dr. Erin Turner and I am a psychiatrist, and that means that I am a doctor for people's mental health, and I am delighted today to be joining you on Now and Beyond on Inside Out Day. Now, I hope that you are all wearing an item of clothing inside out. You can see I hope that I'm wearing my top inside out. And this is a reminder that actually what we're feeling on the inside is not always what we see on the outside. So sometimes people can look perfectly okay, but actually inside they're feeling really sad and stressed. And today we are hoping that we're going to get lots of conversations going about mental health and the importance of mental health and what we can do if our mental health isn't so good. So if you fall over in the playground and cut your knee, you probably know what to do. I'm sure that you would go and find a teacher who would probably take you to see the school nurse, who would then clean the wound, and if it's bleeding, put a plaster on it. But sometimes, if our mental health isn't so good, we don't know what to do. We don't know whether we can tell anybody about it. And sometimes we don't even know what the right words are to say about it. But I'm hoping that by the end of today that you will understand that our mental health is just as important as our physical health, and that it is really important to tell people if we're not feeling well mentally, so that we can get the right amount of help. So today I am really happy to share a story that I wrote with my good friend Joan about a pair of twins called Thea Thought and Freddie Feeling, and about their life in Mind Body Well. And we're also going to discover two bothersome people. One is called Leery, Liar, and one is called Whiny, Worry Cloud. And they live in a place called Stressful, and you will see the trouble that they cause to Thea and Freddie when they come. So this is called Adventures in Mind, Body Well, Leery and Whiny Wheedle In. So sit comfortably and I will begin the story, and at the end we will have a quiz to see how much you've remembered of it. Thea Thought and Freddie Feeling are twins, and they live in a calm and peaceful place called Mind Body Well. They do everything together and are so close that when Thea thinks happy thoughts, Freddie feels happy. When she thinks sad thoughts, Freddie also feels sad. Thea and Freddie love school, especially playtime, and they have lots of friends. Not far away, in a dreadful, dreary place called Stressful, live Leery, Liar, and a troublesome grey cloud called Whiny, Worry. Leery lurks around, constantly telling lies like, "Scary monsters live in trees," or, "If you wash your hands, your fingers will fall off." When people believe Leery's lousy lies, in a flash, Whiny Worry whizzes into action, hovering over to them to make them sad and worried. As Whiny grows bigger and greyer, he makes people sadder and more worried. One day, with nothing else to do but laze around in Stressful, Leery, Liar and Whiny Worry decide to cause trouble in Mind Body Well. "Let's sneak into Mind Body Well," Leery tells Whiny. "I will find someone to lie to and make them feel rubbish." "Yes, let's," Whiny says excitedly. "Then I can get to work and make them feel even worse." Delighted with their devious plan, Leery, Liar and Whiny Worry cunningly creep off to mind Bodywell. Soon, Leary spots Thea Thought playing football with her friends. Hey there, Thea. I love football, he says sneakily. Can I play too? Sure, Thea answers innocently. At first, Thea is happy playing with Leary, but this all changes when Leary starts spouting his spiteful lies. I hear that your friends don't really like you. They think you're ugly, can't spell, and are rubbish at running. That's not true, Thea replies sadly. Yes, it is, Leary snaps. They're always whispering behind your back, saying mean things about you. Thea doesn't believe the rotten things Leary is saying at the start and wishes he would go away. But Leary keeps rabbiting on with his lies, and soon the lies begin to feel real. At school, Thea believes her friends are whispering behind her back, saying things like she is ugly, stupid, and slow. And because Leary makes her believe these lies, Thea even stops liking herself. Leary sneers to Whiny. Now that Thea believes my lies, you can get to action to make Freddie feel bad. I will, says Whiny Worry, who immediately whizzes over to Freddie and starts hovering over him. As Leary's lies swirl around Thea's head, Freddie begins to feel unhappy. Their friend, Polly Playful, sees this and wants to help. Freddie, she says gently, why do you look so sad? I'm not sad, Freddie insists, giving Polly a fake smile. But Polly knows that Freddie is pretending not to be sad because she can see Whiny Worry hanging over him. Let's play tag then, she asks, trying to cheer him up. We don't want to play, Freddie says crossly. Just leave us alone. Polly is sad that neither Thea nor Freddie wants to play. She walks away, leaving Whiny Worry growing bigger and heavier. Together, Thea and Freddie try to escape from Leary and Whiny, but they don't know how. Leary continues to loiter around telling lies. He muddles all Thea's thoughts, giving her a thumping headache. At the same time, Whiny becomes so big and grey that poor Freddie finds it hard to sleep. By morning, he is so tired that he can't even get out of bed. His tummy hurts. He feels sick, and his heart beats faster and louder. Boom, 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 boom. In fact, things go from bad to worse. Sad and confused, Thea and Freddie no longer want to go to school or watch cartoons or even play with friends. Oh dear, says her mum, you pair are in a bad way. We need to visit Dr. Tricia Truth from the Mind Centre. Dr. Truth is very wise and she quickly realises what Leary Liar and Whiny Worry are up to. Thankfully, she knows exactly what to do. Thea and Freddie, she says in a comforting voice, can you tell me what is bothering you? Because Dr. Truth is kind and gentle, Thea and Freddie feel safe and tell her all about Leary Liar and Whiny Worry. After listening carefully to Thea and Freddie, Dr. Truth tells them not to worry. The good news is, she says, you don't have to believe Leary's lies or allow Whiny to make you sad and sick. Dr. Truth then says, Thea, why don't you think about all the good things people have told you and the amazing things that you have done? Thea thinks about her mum, who is always telling her she is beautiful inside and out. She thinks about the fun sleepovers she's had with her friends. She remembers that although she's not very good at drawing, she is great at maths. She also realises that she isn't the fastest runner in the class, but she's brilliant at forward rolls. Then something magical happens. Whiny, who is now enormous, heavy and still hanging over Freddie, begins to shrink. And Freddie instantly starts to feel better. Seeing this, Leary Liar tries desperately to get back to Thea, but Dr. Truth stands firmly in his way. Leary Liar, she says sternly, your lies have now lost their power. No one wants you here. So push off back to Stressful where you belong. Because Leary Liar can't stand up to Dr. Truth, Whiny Worry can no longer make Freddie sad. Wait for me! Whiny wails in a sorrowful, squeaky voice. He lurches after Leary, who has already turned on his heels to stomp angrily back to Stressful. Thea and Freddie are so happy again that they do a little dance and sing a happy song. When Leary tries to tell us lies, we tell him to go away. Then Worry Cloud can't make us sad and we can go out to play. The end. Right, children, I hope you enjoyed that story and I hope you learned something. And to see how much you remember of it, we're going to test your knowledge out with a little quiz of just 5 questions. So are you ready? Let's move on to the quiz. Okay, so the first question is, when Thea thought has happy thoughts, it makes her twin Freddie feeling A, feel happy, or B, feel sad. Okay, number 2, so you write the answer down. Number 2, if Leary Liar tells us we are rubbish at everything, we should A, believe him, or B, tell him to push off. Number 3, believing Leary's lies makes Whiny Worry Cloud A, hang over us, or B, disappear. Number 4, if we are feeling sad and worried, it is best to A, pretend we are feeling okay, or B, tell someone else about it. And last question, number 5, when we realise that each of us is special, it makes A, Leary Liar and Whiny Worry go back to Stressful where they belong, or it makes B, Leary Liar and Whiny Worry stay in Mind Body Well. Okay, hope you've answered all your questions. Let's look at the answers and see how well you've done. So the first question is, when Thea thought has happy thoughts, it makes her twin Freddie feel happy, because thoughts and feelings are very close together. So when we have sad thoughts, it makes us feel sad. If we have scary thoughts, it can make us feel scared. But if we have happy thoughts, it can make us feel happy. Okay, number 2, if Leary Liar tells us we are rubbish at everything, we should, well, I hope you all answered B, tell him to push off, because that's a lie. No one is rubbish at everything. We might not be the best in the class at lots of stuff, but there's always something that each and every one of us is good at. And we need to tell Leary Liar that when he tells us we're rubbish at everything. And we need to believe that. Okay, so number 3, believing Leary's lies makes Whiny Worry Cloud. Well, the answer to that is A, it makes him hang over us. And that's because when we believe Leary's lies, actually Whiny Worry Cloud hangs over us and makes us feel sad and worried. Number 4, if we are feeling sad and worried, it's best to A, pretend we're okay, or B, tell someone else about it. Well, I hope you got the answer to that is B, because it is always best to tell someone else about it. So you remember what happened when Polly Playful wanted to talk to them and they told her to go away. They pretended that everything was fine, and actually Whiny Worry Cloud just got bigger. But when they decided to tell Dr. Tricia Truth what happened, then she was able to help them. And that's something we need to remember. If we're feeling sad or worried or stressed, it's always better to tell someone, because they can help us to feel better. And finally, when we realise that each of us is special, which is true, it makes Leary Liar and Whiny Worry go back to Stressful where they belong. Okay, so add up your scores. And if you got 1 or 2 points, well, that's a really good start. If you got 3 or 4 points, well done. And if you got all of the questions right, well, that is excellent. So I just want to finish off by reminding you that we mustn't believe the lies we were told. We must answer the lies with truths about ourselves, that we're all special, and that will help us feel better. But there's some other things that we can do to make ourselves feel better. And one of those is actually sport or exercise. And so all of us might not be the best at sport, but we can all find something that we can enjoy doing. So that might just be going for a walk, might be playing football with some friends or rounders or whatever, but it actually can make us feel a lot better if we do some exercise. And you see, we have to remember that the mind and the body are very closely linked. So do you remember when Thea believed the lies that Leary told her? Not only did it make Freddie feel sad, it made his body feel unwell. He had a thumping headache, his tummy was sore and he felt sick, and his heart was racing, it was beating really fast. And that is because when our mind is sick, it can make our body sick as well. So in the same way, if we look after our bodies through exercise and eating healthily, it can make our minds and our mental health good as well. And sport is one of those ways that can help both our bodies and our minds, and it makes me feel a lot better if I go for a walk or play some sport, particularly if I'm doing it with friends. The second thing that can really help is nature and animals. So wherever you live, whether you live in the city or in the country, it's really important to make time to go outside. And trees are really good for our mental health, and water, whether it's a river or a canal or the sea, water is really good for our mental health, and flowers. And then animals. I mean, some of you might be fortunate enough to have a pet, like a cat or a dog, or you know somebody who's got a pet, but I think animals can make us feel a lot better, and birds and insects and butterflies. So really important if we're feeling sad and stressed is to take some time out and spend time with nature and animals. And then the last thing is kindness. So you remember we talked about Inside Out Day is all about remembering that some people might look okay on the outside but not be okay on the inside, and it's really important to treat all people with kindness. But if you do see somebody looking sad or somebody on their own, go up to them and ask them if they're okay, and ask them if they want to play, because not only will it make them feel better, it will also make you feel better. So being kind is really important for our mental health. So that's where I'm going to finish today. I've really enjoyed being with you all today, and I hope you've enjoyed the story and have learned something from it. And I hope you enjoy the rest of Inside Out Day, and you will always remember the importance of talking about your mental health and seeking help if you're not feeling well in your mental health. All right, look after yourselves and be kind to each other. Bye-bye.